Robert Hanley joins us now via Skype from Bishop Reed's favorite place, California, to talk about his work as an American actor, an entertainer, comedian, and now an author of a book titled, Do You See What I See? Discovering the Obvious. Robert, thanks so much for being with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. It's a little chilly here in Southern California.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
39 degrees this morning, and good morning to you, Bishop Reed.
Good morning, Robert.
Very nice to meet you.
Same.
And could you hold that book closer to the camera? Thank you. Good job. Good job. I'm glad they gave you the book and not Jay. It's a wonderful start of this segment. Before we begin, I wanted to thank you and Jay and the cameraman and your producers. You do a great job on this show. I had the pleasure of meeting Kevin Nelson recently, and as did he. You're doing wonderful things, making a positive difference in people's lives. And I've seen a handful of your shows, actually. So I'm just intrigued with seeing the new rug, because we're talking about it out here in Southern California.
Oh, yeah, it's the big talk of the town.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that photograph you're going to send me of the rug to give to my wife as a Christmas present. But moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I almost feel like your wife should be on the show, too, after reading about how you guys met, and she sees you outside of the first meeting you were having, and so on and so forth. But what made you write this book, Robert? Because it's a fun book, too. It has some great observations.
Thank you. Like so many things in life, it just one thing led to another. At one point, I was doing stand-up at the time, and I wrote a piece on fear, and I recognized that other people enjoyed and got something out of the short story that I wrote, people not in show business. And that started the whole ball rolling. And then I started a fellowship, an entertainment fellowship that went on to have 4,000 people subscribing to our newsletter, and then took a break for a while. And it was good that I did. Other groups followed in what we had started, and that was terrific. And then as God will have it, one thing led to another at our parish, and I mentioned, I have these stories. I could start a group here. We were having a hard time. Our pastor was leaving. We got a new pastor. He passed away. Make a long story short, I started a fellowship called the Fireside Fellowship, and that is a supplement to my book, Do You See What I See? Discovering the Obvious, which is about finding a better, more meaningful life. So we're in our 12th year with that fellowship, and on Zoom. And if anybody wants to find out more about the Fireside Fellowship, our mission is to enable people to recognize Judeo-Christian principles in everyday events and apply them to their lives. And that's been going very well. But every meeting we have, there's a chapter from the book that Bishop Reed is holding, and it's gone very well. So we're trying to get to other parishes throughout the country.
You were in the military.
Did I answer your question?
You were in the military too, weren't you, Robert?
I was in the militry, yes.
What was your role?
I started World War II, actually.
Oh, I was wondering who did that.
No, my role in the military was... bear in mind, it was 1968. I was 21, and if you got a job somewhere, they wanted you couldn't really get anything going because you didn't know if you were going to get drafted the next day. And at one point, I just said, let me join and get this over with. And I joined, and I was told that if I joined, I would have a better chance at getting into entertainment. Well, that was a nefarious statement, shall we say. You go into the Army and you're in basic training, and I was sent to radio maintenance school to fix radios and likely go to Vietnam. But what I did was I went to the entertainment center and became an entertainment specialist. And to your question, Bishop, my role was 03B20, which is that of a special entertainment specialist, where I entertained the troops, put shows together, productions, Man for All Seasons, Guys and Dolls, wrote shows. I wrote a review, directed it, and basically ran the entertainment center with my boss, who was a retired lieutenant colonel, Roy Lothner. And that's what I did for 20 months or so at Fort Benning, Georgia.
You know,
And it was great.
I'm sorry, Robert. We're running out of time. I just am curious about this. So even with the title, in our busy lives today, are we missing out on the obvious and what is right in front of us because we're just trying to get through everything?
Oh, I think so. I think it's somebody asked me once, what did you get out of writing the book? And I immediately said, while I was writing it and finishing it, self-awareness. And I think that is the same answer I would hope that people would get out of the book, self-awareness. And it comes from developing a perspective on life, not unlike our faith. You know, you see life as we are taught in our faith, and you live your life accordingly. And what this book is about, discovering the obvious, is finding deeper meaning in everyday events that seem to float past the observations of most people. And in doing that, these short stories, which are all true personal stories on my life, every one of them, some deal with me pulling into a gas station, Jay, as you know, and some deal with my career in show business, and some deal with my spirituality, my faith. And it's not a religious book. It's not a show business book. It's a book for everyone. And by what it's suggesting is, if you look at some of these events, there is usually, if you look, you'll find a deeper meaning in some of these events. And any one of those stories, and I'd be happy to give you an example of it, but I'm not sure we have the time. So, that's what the book's about, finding those things.
Well, Robert, we'll have to have the readers discover all of those because it's great. The book is Do You See What I See? Discovering the Obvious. Robert, thanks so much. Best to Corinne, your wife, who I feel like I know now. And thanks for being with us today. We'll have to have you back on.
Thank you so much. I look forward to that, and keep
Merry
doing the good work
Christmas.
you're doing.